All right, and I believe we are live. Hello, everybody. I'm meteorologist Matt Gray. We're going to give you an update here on the conditions on this what has turned out to be a very snowy weather alert day. You can kind of see what's going on here. 30 degrees now in Coeur d'Alene and Spokane, so we are starting to warm up. That is definitely a good thing when it comes to road conditions, and the plow crews have gotten a lot of road treatment out, and so our big highways are looking like they are just wet and slushy right now. You get onto the side roads, however, and with temperatures in the 20s for the past couple of hours, it is a much different story. So we're going to start out with us looking at some highway cameras around the region and kind of giving you an idea of what's going on here as we remain in this large area of snow. So I'm controlling my computer. If you see me looking off to the side of the screen, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to flip from one slide to the other as quick as possible. West Plains, we're really having some tough times here. We've seen a few accidents in that part of the region already. All these higher benches around Spokane, the South Hill, we've also gotten lots of reports of things being very bad on the roads there at the top of the South Hill. 5 Mile Prairie, another area where when it's on the West Plains and when it's bad on the South Hill, usually the 5 Mile area is also pretty tough to deal with. And you could see that I-90 Geiger exit not doing so well. Look at a little better as you get down to the valley bottom there, 195 and Hatch. Let's take another look here. Let's head further down now into the valley. You can see the snow, particularly here at Liberty Lake. It's fallen fairly heavy, but once again, warm enough down at the bottom of the valley to where at least the main roads are doing okay, at least for now. We'll see how things progress as we continue to see some heavy snow at times. Rathdrum, we've continued to see snow continue to stack up, so a little bit slushy in the north end of the Rathdrum Prairie. You head further south into Coeur d'Alene. Those side roads will be a little sticky and snowy, but the main arterials are looking mostly clear for now. And then we look to the north of Spokane. This is where we've seen some tough conditions. Highway 2, Highway 395. Once you get past the Y, you get out towards Meade, you get out towards Deer Park. We've seen some tough conditions this morning, but it does look like there is a little bit of improvement on the highways here as well. But as long as that snow keeps falling, it's going to be a little bit tough out there with low visibility, et cetera, et cetera. I'm also going to keep an eye on what is going to be an area that will continue to see snow building up as we head later into the day as well, and that's around Newport, Priest River, and into Sandpoint. Once again, main roads are clear, but those side roads are going to start to see things stack up because we're not really going to warm up all that much around the Pend Oreille River and Lake Pend Oreille as we go throughout the majority of the day. So the worst of the snow is going to be ending here over the next couple of hours, but we're expecting an additional 1 to 3 inches as we go through the rest of the day, and more slick and slippery road conditions as our temperatures fluctuate up and down across pretty much all of the inland Northwest. And so even though things will get better as we head into Friday afternoon, we remain under a first alert weather alert day. A winter weather advisory continues through noon, and that is because once noon passes, especially around the metro, we expect things to kind of slow down a little bit. And as we continue to warm up our temperatures as well, eventually we are going to pop back up above freezing here for a few hours. The snow going to turn to slush in some of those side roads. Side roads are still going to be quite slippery as well, and they'll be refreezing later tonight. So it's not going to be the easiest afternoon drive, at least maybe the last mile up to your front door once you get off the highway. Snow accumulations going to be slowing or stopping in some cases, especially as you head south of I-90 this afternoon. Speaking of this afternoon, we are going to be talking about some pretty heavy snow, but just in isolated areas. Bands of heavy snow going to be moving in and out as we go through the afternoon and into the evening. Under those bands, even when it's well above freezing this afternoon, quick hitting 1 to 3 inches worth of snow and very rapidly changing road conditions. So any snow that you run into, it is well worth pressing off the gas a little bit, slowing down if you got plans for later on this afternoon. Let's take a quick look here at what's going on with the radar over the valley, Spokane to Coeur d'Alene. And you can see fairly steady snow pretty much across the entirety of the area. It varying in intensity from time to time, but overall, this is what we expected for the morning hours. Long duration, steady snow, and it's going to be continuing at least for the next couple of hours. We're thinking at about 2 to 3 hours, we're going to see the backside of this kind of biggest round of wet weather that we're going to be seeing with this storm. In fact, it's starting to see the backside of that begin to move past the Ritzville area. And so here we go. If you're around, say, places like Odessa, about 11 minutes away from the backside of things and beginning to slow down. Same goes with Colfax and around Coulee City in about a half hour. So areas in the central and northern Columbia Basin, south of the Columbia River, south of the Spokane River, and around Whitman County. All these areas over the next kind of half hour to 1 hour, going to start to see the snow ease up a little bit, and we'll start to warm up fairly quickly once that happens, because we'll get some peaks of sun once this main bulk of moisture moves on. Meanwhile, we're talking about 2 to perhaps 3 hours around the metro, starting on the West Plains and then gradually beginning to ease up as you go from west to east. Until that time, we're going to continue to see that snow and those slushy roads around the region. And of course, then you've got the snow band potential for the afternoon. So here's one particular simulation of this. You can see it's trying, our computer model is trying to pull out the snow a little bit earlier. I do not think that that is all that likely, but notice what happens here in the afternoon. As this storm continues to move on into Montana, you kind of see the backside of this. The winds change direction, and then across northeast Washington, northern Idaho Panhandle, south into Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, those heavy snow bands. And that's where we're going to be watching for, once again, those quickly changing road conditions in the afternoon. Could see a couple of snow squalls, perhaps even a snow squall warning. And if that does pop up on your phone, you can get that, by the way, with the First Alert Weather app if you download it now, if you don't have it already. With that, that's the time where you got to be like, okay, let me postpone where I'm going for about 30 minutes or so. Let that heavy snow pass, and then the road conditions will improve. I think fairly quickly with the warmer temperatures we're expecting this afternoon. We'll be up around 35, 36, 37 degrees later on today, and so that should really help out road conditions around the region. It's all out of here by the time we get to about 6 o'clock or so. And so slowly but surely as we go through the evening, we'll see gradually improving conditions. So really for the afternoon and into the evening, by then, the worst of this is going to be behind us, and we are going to be all good after that. And by all good, I mean warmer weather. And for the weekend, we are expecting some much nicer conditions. So at least for today, not the most ideal situation, but we do believe that things are going to get a whole lot better as we get into tonight. So once again, drive safe, especially as you get into those side road areas, some of those higher benches, as you get up off the valley floor. A lot of that snow is going to be sticking a lot more than what we're seeing down at the valley bottom where we have all our highway cameras around Interstate 90. So that is our update here for 10 o'clock. Mark Peterson going to share with you as we continue to track kind of the backside of this snow system and when things are going to be improving later today in about an hour at 11 o'clock. In the meantime, stay safe, drive safe, and we'll see you with our next update.